opening up, I want to know why you're opening up the event. I want to know who you are, why you like this, what got you involved in this, what's so interesting about it, why you like it more than what you did before, and what's interesting for you later. So we're going to talk about the 4 points of a testimonial, and I'll send you guys I apologize that I didn't send it last time, but I'll send you over the 4 bullet points of a perfect testimonial, and this way you guys are going to do it, and then you're going to send it to us like we chatted last time. We're going to look through it, make sure it's less than 90 seconds. If it's preferably, it's 60 seconds, but 90 seconds is okay, but no longer than that. Um, and the most important thing that you need to understand when you're engaging, when you're performing, or when you're in front of people, whether it's on a Zoom call or in person, you're not doing it for me. You're not doing it for Renata. You're not doing it for Gala. You're not doing it for anybody else. You're doing it for new people. So I want you to always be conscious of who your audience are. Who is your audience? Who are the people that you're trying to connect with? Your goal is to connect with people, is to relay a message to them that they can get excited about, is to touch every single human being that's on the other end of that camera, that's that came here, took time out of their day to come and listen to something that they probably don't really know much about. Maybe they know a little bit, but they trusted someone to come, and they're spending the time here with us. So whether it's it's an edification, just like you did tonight. And I'm just not talking just to you, Tatiana. I'm talking to everybody. Um, whether it's a testimonial, I don't want you to think that you need to impress anyone. And that's truly the most important thing that I can share with you tonight. No one is interested in your success. I'm going to explain to you why that is. No one cares about how much you know unless they know that you care. And until you can connect with them to a point where they feel that you truly care about them and explaining things to them and helping them understand why they're there, at sharing your testimonial, none of what you say is relevant until those things happen. Okay. So I get it that sometimes we get a little, excited about being on stage. I get it that sometimes, we get a little, um, you know, I don't want to say conceited, but, sometimes we get a little full of ourselves. Um, and like I said, the most important thing for you is to connect with the person and help them see why you're there. Share your story, be genuine, be honest, be yourself. Um, be someone that people truly can relate to. Your goal is to relate. This is so important. And so that's what we always talk about, the 4 personalities. And then when you touch upon those personalities, even when you're just introducing the speaker, or if you're just inviting, if you're just welcoming people to the event, and opening up, it's perfect. It's a perfect opportunity for you to shine, okay? As someone who's accomplished something, and someone who is excited about the opportunity. But the most important thing is that relatability. We want to be able to relate to people. My goal every presentation is to connect with one person who is on the other end of the Zoom that I don't know, and give them everything I got. I'm not interested how well I sound, how good I sound, how good I look. If I can connect with that one person, and that person can see and believe what I believe, then my job is done. Like, that's really all I care about. It doesn't matter how many years ACN's been in business. It doesn't matter how many billions of dollars they've made. It doesn't matter what what the buffet of services is. The most important thing at every presentation is to be able to connect and relate to someone so they can feel and believe what you feel and you believe. And like I said, if anyone is going to go to business with you, first they have to like you, then they have to trust you. And those two things are going to be the driving force of everything you're doing here. And that's kind of what I really want to do. Like, I don't want people to sign up. I'm not interested in people signing up in our business. I've had people sign up that never did anything. I tried to call them to get them to get their money back. They didn't answer the phone. I'm like, we can write a letter to ACN and you're gonna have your money back within like 3 to 4 days. Just call me back. We can do that together. I don't want your $4.99. I don't want your $2.99. Like, I'm not interested in that money. I don't get anything from it if you don't do anything. It's just like, if you love to give to charity, take the $4.99, take the $2.99, give it to charity. But don't give it to ACN. They're fine without you. They don't need it. So how do you like my cup? Anyway, I needed some
Love
coffee.
it.
So here's the goal for tonight. We're going to talk about testimonials, why they're important. A lot of that I already mentioned. It's obvious to be able to relate. It's obvious to be able to share your story where people can say, oh, they did this. And then here's, what I really kind of could connect to. Here's what I can relate to. And there's 4 parts to a testimonial. Part number 1 is, and I'm going to ask you a question. So pay attention. Part number 1 is your occupation. That is what you're doing or what you did before you got involved with ACN. So if you ever listen to my testimonial, I always say, here's my name, I'm so-and-so. I've owned and operated a kitchen design outlet for the past 17 years in Midtown Manhattan. I loved that business. I did really well there. And I truly, fell in love with the industry and, the ability to be a part owner of a business. Okay, that was my part number 1. Part number 2 is what you didn't like or what you don't like about your current occupation or the occupation that you had before you got involved. Okay, that's number 2. So when I say in my testimonial but in 2008, when the economy collapsed because of the subprime mortgage, right? Nobody really knew where they were going. Nobody knew what to do. I didn't have any business for about 18 months. And that really scared me. And that really, put a lot of perspective into my life. So I needed to look for other things. Okay. And if you listen to my testimonials, that's exactly what I say. And then the third part is how this company came to the rescue. So here I say, I was introduced to ACN through a really close friend of my family. She shared this information with me. She wasn't a business person, but she was already having success. I was skeptical, I was negative, but it made sense because of the industries and because of how the company, whatever, right? Um, and that's how ACN came into my life. Okay. And then the fourth part is um, how you're excited about the future or why you're excited about the future. Okay. So I always say, I got involved in just 30 minutes a day because I don't have any time. I was super busy doing all these different things. But I saw success. I saw that because of a system that ACM put together and put in place, I can have success here just like anybody else. I started following the system by my wife in this business. We built one of the most incredible teams in the world. And I truly love and respect all those people. I can't, and ACN every single time is putting something new on the table, giving us more opportunities. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years with this company. Okay. So those are the 4 parts. Number 1, your occupation. What you did, what you do. Number 2 is what you don't like or what you didn't like about your occupation. Number 3, how ACN came to the rescue, how this company came to save you. What was it about it that you really liked, that you got, well, the reason why you got involved. And number 4 is, what you think and what you feel and why you're excited about the future with this company. Okay? Everybody got that? Hopefully you're taking notes, Tanya. I know you're doing that. Amazing. I love that. Thank you very much for being so coachable. Okay. So out of those 4, which do you think people relate to the most? And if you can just unmute yourself, or you can put her in the numbers and tell me, which one do you think people will relate to the most? And which one is the most important? Renata, you can't answer this question. You already know.
No.
No. I want you to think about it. Like everybody who's on the call, think about it for a second. Ask yourself why you think that will be the most important, why you would relate to that more than anything. What do you guys think? Or you can put a number in the chat. 1, 2,
I don't know,
3.
maybe one, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe 1. Okay. Anybody else?
I only
Terry?
heard part of it. What was the question?
The question was, out of the 4 bullet points in your testimonials, which one is the most important, and which one do people typically relate to the most? 1, your occupation. 2, what you don't like about it. 3, how ACN came to the rescue. 4, how you feel about the future.
The pain?
Yes, that's the correct answer. Most people, believe it or not, relate to the pain. They don't necessarily relate to success or to some other good things. And because 1, most people are emotional. 2, negativity is very easy to attract. And 3, the easiest way to relate to someone is to go and cry with them or be in a sorrow with them, right? That's just the way life is. Like, oh, I feel so sad. Oh, me too. Let's go drink ourselves to death, right? That's what happens. Everybody loves it. We're all excited. Hey, come be, miserable with me together. So that is the most important attribute of your testimonial. So what you need to do with those 4 bullet points is you need to write your testimonial out. Write it out. If you want, you can talk about how old you are. You can talk about your occupation, whatever, right? I'm this, I'm that. Here's what I really loved about what I did and why I got involved with this industry. It gave me an opportunity to do this, but I realized that I couldn't really make more than X amount of dollars, or my boss kept giving me more work, or I realized I had less and less time for me, or I just couldn't handle the workload. It was too much, or they didn't pay me enough, or I never got a chance to see my family, or whatever it is that you don't like or you didn't like about your present or past occupation is going to be the most relatable uh, um, point, uh, portion of your testimonial. It doesn't mean that you have to make it the largest. You should really kind of space them out as evenly as possible. Then the third part is, what happened when you saw ACN? What happened to you? What happened to your mind? What happened to your mindset? Why did you get involved? Was it just because of a person? Was it because you trusted somebody? Was it because you saw a way out? Right? A lot of people get involved because they see a way out. I was working a dead end job. There's nothing I could do. I know that's where I'm going to die. And I didn't want to die at work. And I realized that it was a good time for me to look at something else. And this is why I got involved. Okay. So that's number three. Sorry, that's number two. And then number three is the reason why I got involved was because I saw happy people here. I saw unlimited income potential. I saw, the fact that I could do it part-time. I saw that every person that was involved in ACN was no one special. And I realized that, hey, if those people aren't really special and I'm not really special, then I can probably do this too. And I can probably do it well because they look like they're doing well. Okay, or they're making money, or they're having, the things, or they're doing things that I want to do. So number four is how you feel about the future. And this is important. Why? Because everyone is interested where you want to be. They're looking to find out where you're going. People follow people with vision, not with money. People follow people with a vision. They don't follow people with money. Because just because someone can make a lot of money doesn't mean anything. If they can teach you and mentor you and show you how you can make that much money, that's a person with vision. That's a person who's ready to build. That's a person who's ready to grow. That's a person who's willing to share, put their time, invest their time, the precious commodity, that's something we can never get back, into other people, help them win. Okay, not because only they want to win. Guys, we help so many people in our sidelines. I can't even explain to you how many people we've helped who are not in our money. And if someone ever says to you, the only reason why you'd help me is because you're going to make money from me, tell them this is not the business for you. This is not the business for you. Sorry. We don't do this just for a personal gain. We do it because we believe in something bigger than ourselves. We believe in camaraderie. We believe in being teammates. We believe in sharing vision. We believe in sharing goals, reaching those goals, pushing each other, moving forward, moving up, growing together, learning together, lifting people up from where they are now. That's our belief. That's truly one of the core beliefs in a lot of network marketing companies, especially ACN. And if you know who the co-founders are, that's just the way it is. Can't find better people than that. So, yeah, the thing is that when we sponsor someone and they're in our money, yeah, we want them to have success. There's certainly an aspect of the sponsorship is when we know that our team's going to grow and we're going to generate revenue. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But that's not the sole purpose of recruiting someone. It's not the sole purpose of getting someone in the business. It's not the sole purpose of what we do here. Yeah, it makes sense. We want to grow a team. We want to have leaders on our team because, like our mentor used to say, how do you know a leader showed up is when your burden gets lighter. So when our burden gets lighter is when we find a leader. That means, okay, we found a person and we don't have to do all this. They're taking care of a lot of that, and I don't have to be the one involved. I can do and focus on more important things than, than whatever that person can take care of. So when we used to do live events, someone would always come in and set up. There would be a person responsible for that. There'd be a person responsible for handing out, magazines. There'll be a person responsible for selling magazines. There'll be a person responsible for DVDs and CDs. And back in the day, that's how it was. A person responsible for collecting money. There was a person responsible for paying for the place. There was a person responsible for, setting everything up, setting up the chairs, setting up the stands, setting up the ACM flags, putting together a room and making it the proper environment for people to have success. So there were people that did that, and it wasn't just one individual. So when I started with my Hasidic team, we had a conversation. I said, hey guys, if you want to lead and you want to step up, this is going to have to happen. Yeah, there were certain things that I did, but when I got into a room, and my team was ready, I don't have to bring anything. I just brought my markers. I brought my markers and my eraser, and that was it. So I had some markers and I had my eraser. That's it. That's how I came to my events. I had my ACN applications. I had magazines. Okay, I had that's everything I needed. When I walked into a room, it was set up. The chair was already put together. Most people were already sitting down. Hung out in the back. Time came up. The person opened the room. We didn't play a video because they don't watch videos. Okay. Um, and then they would do a 1 through 10, or if they had somebody that really like wasn't Hasidic, then I would do the 1 through 10, but typically not. They would do the 1 through 10. They would have people come up for testimonials. They would come and share their testimonials. We worked on a testimonial. Each testimonial was polished. Everybody was quick. Everybody, got the four bullet points of a testimonial. They got off the stage, and then, the speaker came out and introduced me, and then I came up and I did the training. And that's how we did it, 3 times a week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, depending on what it was. And that's what we had momentum. That's what we had people coming over. That's what we had people getting excited. I mean, and then we had Mike Kane come for events. We had Renato and Boris come to events. We had Byron Nelson come for events. We had it's so many RVPs and our regional directors come to our events and do events with us. And it's crazy, but we did so many things, and we had a great time. And then Larry Raskin came 2 or 3 times. We went to a couple of Larry Raskin's events with some of the guys, because most of them couldn't come out. But yeah, we brought them in, and that's how we did it. But we knew that it was really about giving everything that we had and pouring into the people that would lead the expansion, that would lead the teams, that would grow. And that's how we did it. And that's what we're trying to recreate now. So obviously we know who we are. We know what we're capable of. No, we're looking for other people to step up. We're looking for other people to take the reins and lead the expansion. Get out there and find some people, get out there and, talk and have conversations. And, in the last training, we talked about, invitation, and I hope you guys got a lot of that. And I hope that, even with, understanding why the most important thing here is duplication, and why that's so relevant now, in every aspect, from the second that you join the company, like literally from the second that you like the opportunity, you get involved, and even just before you get involved, everything you do will duplicate, and it's going to duplicate good or it's going to duplicate bad, but it's all going to duplicate. If you're terrible at something, your team is going to duplicate you being terrible at something. If you don't know how to invite, if you're unprepared, if you're not willing to be coachable, if you're laissez-faire about things that are important, if you're not on point, if you're not doing the things that you got to be doing, all of that will duplicate in your team. Okay? How you got people to sign up is going to duplicate in your team. How they got involved is going to duplicate. How they put in the application, whether it was you or them, that's going to duplicate. How they qualified is exactly how they're going to qualify their people. Like all of that stuff duplicates. It's crazy. I'll give you a funny example. So there was a buddy of mine, it's actually a friend of my parents' friends. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, listen, why don't you take a look at something? I know you just recently quit your job and you're working for yourself. You're a business owner. Let me know if this is something you might want to do. So he said, yeah, no problem. Let's get together. I said, why don't you come over to my place? So he came to my house, like to my house, and I played a video for him. And we sat down, quickly did the 1 through 10, showed him the magazine. He got started right away, got qualified super quickly. And then I said, okay, who do you know? Let's get into your market. Let's go into your warm market. Let's talk to people that you know. It doesn't matter whether they're gonna get started or not. Let's get to them as soon as possible and just share this information. Maybe someone's looking. It's all about timing, right? And he's like, yeah, so I have this couple of people that want to, take a look. I said, great, let's take them to the event and you'll see how it goes. He goes, no, 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 no. I don't want to take them to the event. I want you to invite them to your house. That's just like you did it for me, and then sign them up at your house by yourself. And I said, it's not going to work. But you see what I did with him. He believes that that's the deal. He believes that that's how it works. He believed that that was going to work for everyone. So I said, listen, if you don't want to take them to the events, no problem. Come to the house, bring them over. This was back when I was a bachelor. I had my pad, and come on down. So he brought one person, talked to him, didn't get started. For another person, talked to him, didn't get started. For a third person, talked to him, didn't get started. For the fourth person, we talked to him, they didn't get started. And then he lost hope. And he's like, I don't understand. Why isn't it working? And then I realized that there's a big portion of that mindset for him was he was trying to duplicate what worked for him. And it didn't matter that because it didn't duplicate. So he was just qualified, never recruited or invited another person. Was saving some money in his bills, so he's happy, and that was the end of his career with ACN. Pretty crazy, right? But that's what happens when I mean duplication. So it's all about duplications, truly understanding how powerful it is. So why do I bring this up again? And I don't want Tatiana, I don't want to make you into like a guinea pig, but I'm going to. I hope that's okay with you. Because I know you're a big girl and you can take it. Whatever you're doing right now, and your team is not watching me. They're watching you. Because you're their leader. Does that make sense? So everything you're doing, they're doing. Subconsciously. They're not even aware of that fact. But they're doing it anyway. And how you got them started and how you're inviting, how you're introducing, how you're getting people to qualify, how you're helping them, all of those things, whatever approach you took with that individual is how they believe ACN works because it worked for them. So I want everyone on this line, and especially people that are not on this line, hopefully they get a chance to watch this and listen to it, is guys, I want you to know that ACN has a system It's a proven system that works. If you decide that you want to be coachable and you want to win here, if you want to win, we'll help you do it. We can't do it for you, but we will help you. Okay? So no matter how you got involved, no matter how you signed up, no matter who signed you up, no matter how you got qualified, no matter what, the system is the same for everyone. And I want you to learn the proper way. I want you to know it the proper way. So just because some of the things that you might have looked at Tatiana do and didn't work for you, it doesn't mean the system doesn't work. It doesn't mean that the business doesn't work. Okay. It just means that typically when people are new, they don't really know how to do it. So they do it to their best ability. So, and because this industry is so forgiving and you can do basically this business in any way, shape, or form, you still can win. You can still have success. But we want you to do it the right way and we want it to duplicate for you. So you don't have to be the one working all the time. That's the goal. So we want you to rest assured and understand that even if certain things that you might have already implemented into your business that worked for Tatiana but didn't work for you, it doesn't mean that they're not going to work. We're going to, we're going to hone it and make sure that whatever it is you're doing, that it's going to work for you and we'll teach you how to do it properly so you can have success. Is that fair with you guys? So I just want you to know that because the system is already set up and you guys have people that care about you, like myself and Renata and obviously Tatiana, because she's the one that got you involved, and anybody else who's on the call, we want you to be in a space where you truly understand, hey, look, if some of those people didn't show up because of how I invited them, or maybe I don't have as much influence as someone else does, or maybe I didn't do the proper invitation, or maybe I did get a little upset when someone didn't show up because this is an emotional business, or maybe I tried to get this person as a customer, or they didn't, and they were the closest person to me and they still didn't, support me. It has nothing to do with you. Okay, guys, it has nothing to do with you. It's just how we do things here. So because the system works and because the system's in place and because there's so many great things about the system, we just want you to learn it properly. We want you to learn it well so you can teach immediately good habits. Okay. Well, life is about habits. This business is about habits. People look at you and they start to follow you. They start to look at the habits that you've acquired and you've implemented and you've been using, and you've been in that habitual mode of your everyday, and they duplicate you, they follow you with things like that. So um, we want you to know that those are the things that are going to start looking at you, especially people that you're going to sign up, the people that you're going to invite, and how you're going to invite them. They're going to always ask, can I do this? Can I make that invitation? Can I point to something? Can I introduce someone? Can I send them a video? Can I make sure that they're going to watch the video, right? And the answer to all those questions is yes, anyone can do it. So we want to make sure that no matter what we're doing, it's duplicatable, it's simple, it's not burdensome. Because I feel a lot of the time, like, and you guys, I'm sure can relate that a lot of people, when they get involved in this business, they almost feel like, oh God, oh God, what do I have to do? Is this gonna happen for me? And I'm gonna make $10,000 a minute and $1 million every 3 seconds. Is this, like this is the stuff that we start thinking about, and then we had this something we call analysis paralysis, because like we don't really know what to do and we don't really know how to do it. is this really possible? Can this really happen for me? Oh my God, these people are making money. Right? So you have this fear of success that most people have. It's not really the fear of failure. It's more of fear of success. I'm like, can this really happen for me? Like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. So, we take it through the process. There's a process, a mindset that successful people develop, and obviously through the habits, through good habits, avoiding bad habits, getting rid of bad habits, but through that good daily, you know, um, mode of operandi, right? Through those things, um, they get better. Uh, they get wiser. They understand that everything is about learning experiences. They start to read more. They start to pay attention to how they talk. They start to um, get rid of things that you won't find successful people do. They tend to stop doing those things. They tend to dress better. They tend to look better. They tend to smile more. Because they get into these habits, and it's all about who do you listen to, right? Who is your mentor? Who are the people that are giving you advice? Who are those individuals? Have they had success? What are they reading? Who are they listening to? Why are they successful? What are those things like? And then when you start to get into that mindset, that atmosphere, when you start to associate with people like that, is when you start to see things change in your life. And then, it's funny because most people don't do this, but I knew that for me, immediately when I started to do trainings, even when I didn't know anything about the business, I was like, I'm going to do trainings because like I'm a technical guy, and I can read the fine print, and I'm the guy that's going to tell everybody how to acquire a customer or how to sign somebody up, or whatever. Like that was just me. I got so excited about all those things, and nobody really knew what was going on. Renata knew what to do. She was a people's person. She knew how to attract people. She knew how to talk to them. She knew how to have influence and like all these different things. But she didn't really know much else. She knew how to invite. She knew how to ask for a favor. She knew how to gather people in a room. She knew how to ask other people to do the same thing. But really, like all the things that we needed to learn about acquiring customers, what services do we have, how many points, what do you need for this position, all right. you know she knew some of those things, but not a lot. I was like, okay, I'm going to be the guy that knows all that stuff, right? And then I'm going to train people, and we're going to have a lot of success. And that was kind of my attitude when I first got involved. So I started training. So the reason why I brought this up is because I knew I was going to have to be in front of people a lot, and I needed to learn how to speak, and I needed to learn to not say things that people say that don't know how to speak. Those things are right, like, um, you know, you know what I'm saying? How does it go? Like all those little fill-in words that everyone has and everyone uses, especially those that aren't really paying attention. I'm not saying it's a must. I don't want you to get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. There are some people that say one thing all the time. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter. I'm saying for me, I wanted to be a person that never had that thing. Right, like all these little things that a lot of people say, which is fine because they don't practice it. But for me, it was important. So I really wanted to learn and get rid of it. So I would record myself and I would listen, and I would actually jot down like literally how many times I would say or right or like or anything like that, like a parasite word we call them. Slova parazita. You know, those are the things that I just wanted to get rid of. And I did. And eventually I got rid of all of them. So if you ever notice the way that I speak, and I'm not boasting at all, and I'm not trying to be modest or anything like that, all I'm saying is that it was important for me to do that, to listen to myself. So when I come out on stage, or when I share something about a story, when I share a story, or when I'm going to train, I don't want people to be bothered by all those things. I want people to stay focused. I don't want people to get annoyed, because there's some people that will just focus on that word. Does that make sense? Like Byron would always say certain things, and we knew that was a filler word while he would fabricate the next thought or the next point, and that's fine. You can have some of those, but you shouldn't repeat them every 3 minutes. You can do it every 5, 8, 10 minutes, kind of to put them in, and always engage. So I would say, like, does that make sense to you guys? And then, at the time, I don't know, so is that fair with you? I would always try to come back, but I don't want that to be like, why does he keep saying that? It's so annoying. Like, I don't want that to happen with me. And I try it, and sometimes I like, even when I say that, sometimes I'm like, oh, that sounds so annoying. Stop saying that. But I know I have to engage the audience, so I have to ask them if something's making sense, or are you guys paying attention, whatever. So I got to get you out of your out of your out of the trance, because sometimes when we're listening to someone, and that happens to me a lot, they say something really interesting and I start thinking about what they said, and now they keep talking. I'm not even paying attention to what they're saying. Because they keep going with what they're talking about, but I'm focused on that one thing that kind of triggered something in my mind. You guys know what I'm saying? And like I would just think about that. I was like, oh wait, stop, I can't, because I'm missing everything else. Like that happens in a book, and I would, I'd be reading something, and then like a really interesting idea, and I keep reading, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm reading anymore, and it's like 5 or 6 or 7 lines down, right? So I have to go back, because I got kind of focused on that one line, and I was just reading words without even listening to what I was reading, because I was so focused on that other thought that that kind of that was triggered. So I just wanted to, I share that with you, because like these are the things that were important. That was something that was important to me. And I wanted to do that. And for me, getting to that point was a huge accomplishment personally. It wasn't like, oh, I'm the best speaker, I'm the best trainer. I'm not interested in titles, I'm not interested in praise. I just want to have everything that I say, I want it to be concise, I want it to make sense. I want you guys to have as much power, take as much power from it as you can, without being in that space of like, oh, like, I like Leon, but he always says this one thing, which I can't stand. So, you know, I'll just skip, after he's finished recording. So they'll never come to listen live. Hopefully that's not the case. But you guys know what I mean, right? So with that being said, I hope that you guys got something out of tonight, and I hope that you do your testimonials. So I really want you to write them down, like literally write them down, write them out, speak it, record it, listen to it, make sure it's less than 90 seconds, or at least no more than 90 seconds. Okay, close to 60 is better. Make sure all 4 of those points are there in that order. They have to be in that order. Your occupation, what you didn't like, how ACM came to the rescue, and how you feel about the future. Okay, those are the 4 points of your testimonial. Practice it. If you guys need me to do something, put a testimonial out there as a sample, I can do that. Ask me, I'll do it. I'm not gonna do it if you don't ask me. If you want the 4 points, I'll write them down. If you want me to do that, ask me, I'll do that. Other than that, if you guys have any questions, I have a couple of minutes, I'll be happy to answer. And if not, I'm gonna go and put my kids to bed. Going once.
Leon, we are so grateful, my dear. Let me stop recording.
What was point 3 again? I just wrote people follow people with vision, but what was the rest of it?
People
They
follow
don't-
people with vision, people don't follow
don't
people with the
follow
money.
people with money, but people follow people with vision.
Okay. And
Do you have
4
recorded your testimonial somewhere? Do you have it recorded, Leon's?
My testimonial, yeah, I can give it to you in like a written format if you want.
Leonchik, have you
Okay.
stopped
Can you
recording?
please?
Yeah, I'll share with you.
Leon, have you no, you have not stopped recording. Renata will.
You can
Okay.
stop it. Yeah.